We are now a third of the way through Super Rugby, and I thought, perfect time to set the standard, set the places for what a potential Super Rugby All Blacks team may look like. Now, saying Super Rugby All Blacks team, like, yes, I'm going to take anyone who's not in or playing Super Rugby out of the equation and just pick players based off Super Rugby. Saying that means no Ardie Savea, no Sam Cane, no Sam Whitelock, which has been talked about, no Richie Mo'unga potentially coming back, only from Super Rugby form in the first 5 weeks. I will take into account experience and stuff like that, but it is not at the forefront of my thought. What I'm basing this off is Super Rugby performances and how the teams have been going. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the props. In the front row, we've got Xavier Numia, Tyrell Lomax, Ethan de Groot, Fletcher Newell, and then 2 real newbies, a bit outsiders. Now, the props have been hard. The Chiefs have obviously a range of props to choose from, and with that has come some selection headaches for themselves. But I've actually gone with Josh Fusitua and Posaleo Tosi from the Hurricanes, match winner in that game against the Reds. Again, it's been a tough one, the props, and this is, you're more likely going to see some more experience in there than these two, than the team that I've picked. But I think Newell, De Groot, Lomax definitely in there. Obviously, Timothy Williams injured in the first game. I think Xavier Numia is putting his hand up big time the way he's playing at the moment. Same with Fusitua and Tosi. I just think both of them deserve cracks from where they're playing at the moment. Hookers are very easy for me. You've got Samisuni Taukei'aho, you've got Asafo Moa are the 2 standouts for me. Obviously, no Cody Taylor in the first 5 rounds. So I've kind of gone the next man, and you could George Bell and the Crusaders I know was called up, but they're having their line-out struggles. There's the Bell and the Highlanders, who's also playing quite well. But I think Blues journeyman Ricky Riccatelli, in the end, is the third hooker for me if I'm selecting 3 hookers in this wider squad. With that, I think it goes Amor, Samisoni, and then Cody Taylor, obviously, when he's back. But for this little play that we're making, this little game, I've gone Riccatelli. Locks, Tupavai, easy first name in there. I'm gone Scott Barrett as well from the first 3 weeks. As bad as the Crusaders have struggled, I think Scott Barrett wasn't the problem there, and the last 2 weeks have really lacked him, and we saw lineouts against the Blues, if you watch that Blues game, a big struggle for the Crusaders. Caleb Delaney for the Hurricanes, has really put his hand up for my liking, but you could go a range of names here. Akoi from Chiefs, Fabian Holland, I've really enjoyed. Sam Derry, could also go in there. And then another name, I know he's only played 1 round, and I only know it's been the last round, but Patrick Tuipulotu, the game he had in his 100th game, just what he shows around the field, I was like, I couldn't even leave him out. When I was looking at our locks and this talk about Sam Whitelock needing to come back, I think Tuipulotu did a fine job for his first game back this season. Back row has been the toughest position by far. Hoskins Tutu's name is already down there. Number 1 name on the team list, I think he'll be the number 8. Luke Jacobson's second name down there. Then I've gone Peter Lakai, Duplessis Kirifi, Billy Harmon, and Dalton Papali'i. Braden Iosat has been very good as well for the Hurricanes. You can name about 6 or 7 players there. Finau for the Chiefs as well has been very good. Blackadder hasn't yet to play a game. There's been lots of good performances. Kiriani's performed well when he's been playing for the Blues. Sean Whiffy, I can keep going on and on in the names. The guys I've selected I think are in the form and the best players we have there. I would see it as a Hoskins Tutu at 8. The Dalton, Billy Harmon, Duplessis Kirifi, Peter Lakai, Luke Jacobson. All of them have started at 7 or 8. More than likely, you could put them in anywhere. I think I'd put Lakai to 6, and then Kirifi to 7 would be my option. Because Hoskins Tutu is a tall man and is a line out option, there's no doubt that you don't lose that line out option that you need from a 7 being in there, or that other flank being a bit shorter with Kirifi and Lakai. So that's the 3 I would start, but I'll name a starting team at the end. But Papali'i's obviously, his name's been up there and is a very good player. Scrum halves are another tough position through the depth that I don't think we realised we had. Cam Roigard, first name on the team list for the halfbacks. Xavier Rose played really well for the Chiefs, and I've put him in there. I've also thought about Courts Ratama, and he was very close as well, even with Xavier Rowe seemingly beating him out at the start of this season. But I've also added Folau Fakatava. His start of season form for the Highlanders has been fantastic. That leaves us, Courts Ratama, as I said, TJ Perinara, who's come back and performed, and then Finlay Christie as well, as players that were not selected. So got quite a lot of depth there, and I think the way Cam Roigard is playing, he will be the starting halfback. Two fly halves, Damien McKenzie, Stephen Perifeta. Dropping it there, look, you could go Josh Ioane, you could go Brett Cameron. He's played very well for the Hurricanes, but I think those two are the two front runners for the fly half position, first five position. Centres, I've got four of them. Geordie Barrett, Rieko Ioane, although both of them probably haven't been in incredible form, I think both definitely deserving of those spots there. Anton Leonard-Brown slots right back in there, I think, for my liking again. He's had a good start to this Super Rugby season. We could look at Quinn Tupaia. He's come in and again, coming back from a long injury recovery, played very well. I like what I've seen from AJ Lamb in those positions. Talia, the Highlanders, Talia, I think I'm pronouncing right, has been very good for them. Sam Gilbert, but the fourth option I'm going with is Billy Proctor. With Leonard-Brown able to cover both 12 and 13, I think Proctor and Ioane as our 13s would be really good options. I think Billy Proctor's been in the last 2 years has been in the form of his life. Now, outsides, if I said the flankers and loosies was the toughest, outsides were the second toughest. Mark Talia easily gets in there for me. Ruben Love gets in there as well, if he can stay injury-free. I've gone Caleb Clark and Sean Stevenson as the kind of four to wrap it up there. And then we've got one more position open. Now, I would pick Sever Reese with the form he's in at the moment back in this team, but with him more than likely signing overseas, I've gone with Jacob Ratamatavuki Nepkins. Now, it's a tough one. I think he's been fantastic for the Highlanders. An issue you have when you look at this team is Ruben Love and Jacob are both very smaller men, smaller in stature. So, look, if we didn't want to go with both of those ones, I think Nano Saturu has put up his hand up in games. I think Josh Morby, Kenny Nanaholo also putting his hand up in games. So, look, lots of really talented outsides as well there. Running you through kind of the team, we've got 11 Canes, 4 Highlanders, 9 Blues, 2 Crusaders, which, as much as it's a surprise, I think, to most people, it's not really a surprise with the performances they put out on the field, and 7 Chiefs. I would like that Chiefs number to be higher. I just don't know where I could put them. I think there could be probably another back rower. Ian Samapini Finau could go in there. Another outside back, like I said, Nano Saturo. Another prop. And again, there's players who are injured at the moment that haven't featured on this list. But yeah, that's the way I've gone with it for this team. Selecting a starting lineup, going off that, I'm going to stick with what I know. As much as I want to select Xavier Numia as my starting one, I'm going Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Landmax as the props. On the bench, I've got Xavier Numia and Fletcher Newell. Hooker, I'm going to start Samasoni, and bench is Asafa. Locks, I'm going to go Tupavai and Patrick Tuipulotu. Scott Barrett on the bench, just for this equation. Again, if it was a game, I'd probably start him over Tupavai. Back row, I'm going Hoskins Tutu at 8. I've actually changed my mind in the making of this video. I'm going to go Duplessis Kravifi at 7 and Luke Jacobson at 6 with Peter Larkai on the bench there. Scrum half, I'm going Cam Roigard and Xavier Rowe. I'm actually going to select a second back rower, and I'm going to pull a bit of a South Africans and also select Dalton Papali'i. That means I'm only left with one reserve back, and I'm probably, if I'm going to go with Damien McKenzie at fly half, I'm probably over-selecting Perifeta or Leonard-Brown on the bench. But to run through the rest of the team, Geordie Barrett, Rieko Ioane, Mark Talia, Ruben Love, and I've gone Sean Stevenson on the wing as well. Start us off here. So then my bench would look like Xavier Rowe, and I'm going to go Anton Leonard-Brown. That is my 33 squad from the first 5 rounds of Super Rugby selected. And that's my starting 15 and bench. Is that a correct team? Is that a team we could see selected? Again, this is not taking into credit players who are on sabbaticals, taking that time off. Cody Taylor, so it's players who are injured as well. So there's still some players to come back into the mix. But for now, that is my 33. I am Luke, signing off from the Sports Booth. If you do enjoy these videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you later. Goodbye.